I have €1 in Ireland. Then I go across to London. And then what happens is my euro gets changed to UK pounds. So basically, €1, a guy who has €1 is equally as rich as a person who has 80 pence UK. Is that all right? That's all we're saying. So if I had €100, how much would the UK person have? Because you multiply 100 by 80, and he'll have £80. So what this currency exchange rate tells us is that the euro is always the bigger number. They're equally rich, but the number of euro is always bigger. Agreed? So when you're doing these questions, you're only ever faced with two options. See the €1,200? And we have to turn that into UK sterling, yeah? You have two choices. You can multiply by the exchange rate, or you can divide by the exchange rate. They are your only two choices. Now my question to you is, should 1,200 be bigger or smaller when you go over to the UK? Alright, run both options, and whichever option gives you the smaller number is the correct option. Shh. Lads, what you guess the answer? Multiply is the correct answer. Shh. Who got £960? Okay. Shh. Easy peasy. 960. Now, for question 2. Shh. For question 2, we have UK. It's 600 sterling. Now, what do we think has to happen if it gets changed to euro? Does the number get bigger or smaller? So run both options. Divide it by point A and multiply it by point A. And whichever one results in a larger number, because euro is always a larger number than sterling, is the correct answer. And pick whichever one results in a bigger number. So 600 multiplied by point A is €480. That's a smaller number. That means multiplying is wrong. What you get when you divided it? So €750 is the same amount as 600 sterling. These people are equally rich. Agreed? Happy days. A Swiss visitor changed Swiss francs for euro in exchange bureau. The exchange rate was €1 is to 1.4 Swiss. Swiss is the big number because 1.4 is bigger than 1. Euro is the small number. So you have 4,200 Swiss. Are you expecting bigger or smaller when you turn into euro? So you have two choices. You can multiply by 1.4 or you can divide by 1.4. Whichever one results in a smaller number is the correct answer. Off you go. Shh. Okay. Shh. Everybody said it's divide. So what you get? 3,000. Okay. Shh. One problem, however. One problem. Shh. The bank decides to charge us 1% commission. So we got to get 1% and take it away. So the bank is going to charge us 1% for changing all our money. So, yeah. Shh. Multiply this by 1%. You get €30. 3,000 take away €30. 970. Shh. Shh. You can also multiply it by 99%. Take away 1% if you want it. Shh. Okay, guys. Shh. The general gist here is that the rand is bigger than the euro. So, sorry. What I mean is the number for the rand is bigger than the number for euro. So one person who has €1 in Ireland will have 9.8 in rand. Rand is the big number. Euro is the small number. Even though both of them are equally rich. Okay. A woman exchanged 12,000 African rand for euro at a bank. The bank charged a fee for this transaction and the woman received 1,166.60. Find in euro the fee charged by the bank. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our 12,000 rand, yeah? Should that result in a bigger or smaller number when we throw it through the exchange? So you have a choice. You either divide by 9.8 or you multiply by 9.8. And we all think it's divide. So everybody divide that by 9.8. And what you get?
1,224.489.
So 1,224 €and 49 cents. Okay, guys. Shh. That's how much money I was meant to get. I was meant to get €1,224.49. However, I didn't get that money. The money I did get was I take away this, and I'm going to find out how much money the bank took off me. So do you take the two of them away from each other? Well, €57 and 89 cents. Now, guys, if you remember in the last question, we did €3,000 multiplied by 1%. So it's calculated by using the amount of money we're meant to get. So what I'm going to suggest is we do the following. We do €57.89, and we find out what percentage that is of the money we're meant to get. So we turn this into a percentage, and then we can find out how much percentage was taken off us. Because €57.89 off the €1,224 was taken off us. So what percentage did they take off us? Well, what you get? Okay. 4.73. Actually, sorry, my bad. We're only asked to find the fee charged by the bank. So actually, when I got the €57.89, the question was actually complete. But for argument's sake, if you were asked for the percentage the bank charged, you do that and you get 4.72%. But believe it or not, the answer was here. We already had it. But you will be asked for percentages as well. I think Australian currency is the big number and euro is the small number. Agreed? Okay. So Australia equals big number and euro equals small number. Okay. And then what we're going to say is that €2,500 is in Australian money, which is the big number, which means we have to change it into a smaller number. So we can either multiply by 1.36 or we can divide by 1.36.
Divide.
Everybody has decided we're going to divide. So let's divide by 1.36, and what do we get when you divide it then? Anybody?
1838.24.
1838.24.
38.24.
Is everybody cool with that? Now, that's how much money we were meant to get. But we didn't get that money. A small amount was taken off us. So we take the two of these away. So how much money was actually taken off us? €36.77. Now, that money was calculated using the amount of money we were meant to get. So we divide it by the amount of money we were meant to get, and we multiply it by 100. And what you get as your answer?
2%.
2%.